What are you expecting today? You look great.
You look great.
So now we're on to day 9 of the Diddy trial, and we have a very special guest witness, Scott Miss Cudi, aka Kid Cudi, the musician Kid Cudi. He's been mentioned several times in this as one of the prongs that is leading to Diddy actually doing an act. He's alleged to have blown up Kid Cudi's car. We've heard that over and over again, right? So now we've got the man himself on the stand, and I'm going to let you know what he said on the stand so far. And this is coming from none other than our guy, Inner City Press, on Twitter. He's been on the scene the whole time. He's been there every day of court and giving the best comprehensive notes and the closest thing to a transcript that we can find out here, since there are no cameras allowed in the courtroom. So let's see what he was talking about. And I'm going to give you my own dramatic interpretation of Kid Cudi on the stand. And action. Next witness, we call Scott Miss Cudi. Kid Cudi takes the witness stand in a leather jacket, white shirt. This is going to be an audio experience. White shirt and blue jeans. What do you do for work? I'm an actor and a musician known as Kid Cudi. Who is this? And it's a photo. Cassie. We dated in 2011. Who else was she involved with? Sean Combs. What did you know about their status? That she and Sean had some problems and they weren't dating anymore. So this is in a break, okay? In December 2011, did law enforcement respond to your home? Kid Cudi says, yes, I had a break-in. Cassie called me at 5:30 or 6 a.m. She said Sean Combs had found out about us. She asked me to pick her up. So I did. Yeah. Why? She was worried. What was her demeanor? Very stressed and worried. Where did you go? The Sunset Marquee. Why? I thought it was safe, off the radar. Who else did you speak with? Capricorn Clark. She sounded near tears. Now, Capricorn Clark has been mentioned a couple times in this. I believe she is an employee of Diddy. What did you say? That Sean Combs in the car near my house. Okay, so he acknowledges that he's in a car near his house. Brian Steele, familiar name. You'll remember him from the Young Thug trial. Objection. Judge overruled. The AUSA says, you called Sean Combs? Kid Cudi says, I did. He said, I'm over here waiting for you. When you arrived, what did the outside look like? Pretty normal. Any security camera? Yes, but I found out they weren't working. But the security cameras had been moved. Did you move them? Oh, but the security cameras had been moved, says Kid Cudi. Did you move them? No. What did you see inside your home? Gifts were open, some stuff I got from Chanel, and my dog was locked up in the bathroom. How did you usually leave your dog? I let him roam. How long had you had your dog? 3 years. What changes were behavior of your dog after the break-in? Jittery, on edge all the time. I got back in and called Sean Combs again. I was looking for him. I wanted to fight him, you know? Uh-oh, Kid Cudi was about to knock Diddy out. Did he answer? Yeah, he said, I'm on my way. I thought to myself. Brian Steele says, objection. Grounds. The judge responds. Steele says, non-responsive. Overruled. This judge wants to hear this story, obviously. Judge, ask a new question. When you saw Cassie, how did she seem? Depressed. Did you see Cassie in Connecticut? Yes, she needed it. Did Mr. Combs call you? Yes, he hit me a few times. Hit? called me. Need to translate that slang sometimes. What did you say? That I didn't want to talk with him. He broke into my house, hurt my dog. Did you and Miss Ventura break up? Yes. What about your car? My dog's babysitter called me and told me my car was on fire. Where were you? At a relative of my ex-girlfriend. Where did you go? To my house, 8925 Hollywood Hills Road. I've actually got that place pulled up right here. This is the actual driveway of Kid Cudi's house. Pretty nice house. It's one of those LA style $1 million mansions. Pretty nice spot to have somebody staking you out, you know. So I wonder how he even knew where Kid Cudi lived. That's a good question. Maybe it was because of the fight that he wanted to have. Did he send him an address, send him the Addy? Who knows? Wild times in 2012, I believe. Let me show you 6 pictures. Do you recognize? Kid Cudi says, my Porsche. That's the damage to my Porsche from the Molotov cocktail. Okay, so he's saying it's a Molotov cocktail. Who took these photos? Chip, a good friend and collaborator. What's depicted here? The hole they cut in the roof of my car to put in the Molotov cocktail. What was your reaction to your car being set on fire? What the objection? Judge overruled. And then the judge decides, break. He's going to take a break. All right. Before the jurors back, we finished the witnesses of today. Yes. Though cross of Mr. Kaplan was 3 times as long as we thought. Jury entering. Was the damage on your car present before the call from the dog sitter? No. Did you think it was accidental or intentional? Kid Cudi says intentional. Where did you last see Miss Ventura? At the Soho house. I'd reached out to Sean Combs and said, let's talk. This is getting out of hand. All right. Brian Steele says, can we have a sidebar? Judge says, do you have an objection? Steele says, yes. Sustained. Disregard and move on. Who set up the meeting at Soho House? D-Rock and my manager. What was Mr. Combs doing? Standing there like a Marvel supervillain, some laughter. Kid Cudi says, he said, we were homies. You know that is my girl. What did you say? I thought you had broken up. Then Sean Combs offered me water twice. It was weird. Sean Combs being so calm. What did Cassie say? That we have fallen in love. Things happened. What did you say to Mr. Combs? What about my car? He said, I don't know what you're talking about. I walked away. Did you see Mr. Combs later? A few years later, also at Soho House, he said, I'm just sorry for all that bullshit. I was surprised, so I found peace with it. No further questions at this time. Mr. Steele. Brian Steele, on the case. All right. I want to ask you some questions about your Porsche in 2022. Kid Cudi says 2012. Brian Steele says, I apologize. You get a call about damage to your vehicle? Any surveillance photos? Kid Cudi says, no, my dog's babysitter did send me pictures of the damage. Okay. The DNA taken, are you aware it came back being a female? Objection, no foundation. Judge says sustained. Do you know there were DNA results? Judge says, I'll allow that. Kid Cudi says, no. It's getting interesting. Brian Steele said, Miss Ventura told you it was over. Kid Cudi said, we just stopped talking. You told this honorable court and this jury that she played you. Yes. She played you and you had no clue. No clue. Brian Steele is good. That boy good. He said he found some female DNA on that. What did I tell y'all about this situation? Like, we're just doing backflips and saying that Diddy does everything, but if there's some female DNA, what's that about? I don't know. Brian Steele wants to know. Brian Steele says, Miss Ventura told you it was over? Told you it was over? We just stopped talking. You did this. You told this honorable court and this jury that she played you. Yes. She played you and you had no clue. No clue. In 2011, you went on tour. Yes. 65 locations? Yeah. At that time, Sean Combs, as an icon, fair to say, was an icon, fair to say. No typo. Yes. You and Miss Ventura had a sexual relationship? Objection. Sidebar. So they go up to the judge and they have a little conversation. And when they come back, Kid Cudi says, Mr. Steele, can I? Judge said, no, you can do that on redirect. Brian Steele says, do you want to tell me something? Sean Combs asked me about doing a song with Miss Ventura in 2010. Thank you. You believe, Brian Steele says, you believe they left your front door unlocked? Yes. No forced entry? No. Just presence open, door in the bathroom. I'm not belittling, just asking. You called Sean Combs? Kid Cudi says, yeah. He was calm? Yes. You went to see him. You didn't think he had a gun? I couldn't call it. You are a strong person. That's how you categorize yourself. Yeah, this crossed the line. Miss Ventura told you she was abused? Yes. But she never said that she was actually abused. True? She did not. That's interesting. That's telling. You loved her. Tell me if I'm wrong. I did. You got played by the same person who played Mr. Combs, Cassie Ventura. Brian Steele is cold, boy. That's that cold steel right there. In the 13 years since, have you ever been notified in California that there has been any more action on this car fire? Kid Cudi says no. Did Miss Ventura have multiple phones? I don't remember. 35 to 12. 3512. Wonder what that is. Maybe the last 4 digits. If I said it, I said it. Steele says, do you know what a burner phone is? Miss Cudi. Untraceable. The trespass, you call it a break-in. Miss Ventura told you she'd given your home address to Mr. Combs? Question mark. Yes, in the morning. No more questions. Thanks. No problem. Redirect. The judge asked for a redirect. AUSA Johnson. What did Miss Ventura confide in you about abuse? That he would hit her, sometimes kick her. The day of the break-in, was she carefree? No. What did Capricorn Clark tell you? Let me pull up a picture. All right. Capricorn Clark, stock photos. There's Capricorn Clark. Okay, this is one of Diddy's assistants, Capricorn Clark. There she is. Okay. I think this is also her. And there she is with Cassie and Lauren London, someone else who has been mentioned as potentially being a witness. Her and Nipsey Hussle's relationship with Diddy and Cassie was pretty close, I'm hearing. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Rest in peace, Nip. What did Capricorn Clark tell you? Sean Combs, an affiliate, forced her into a car to come to my house. I called the police. How would you describe Cassie that day? Just really shook, him finding out about us. Why did your relationship with Miss Ventura end? The drama, it was getting out of hand. I wanted to give space. What drama? The break-in, for my safety, her safety. Brian Steele says, objection. Grounds, speculation, overruled. Why did you have safety concerns? Because I knew Sean Combs was violent. Your Honor, may we approach? Brian Steele wants to approach for a sidebar. Also, back to the Capricorn Clark part. Now, this is all alleged, but it says this is Capricorn Clark, Diddy's assistant, who was name dropped by Cassie during her testimony and now by Kid Cudi. Capricorn allegedly knew about Cassie's abuse. Capricorn is also Lauren London's sister. Interesting. Capricorn claimed she was also abused by Diddy. And that's her right there. Wow. Okay, this is after the sidebar. The meeting at the Soho House, Mr. Combs said, I don't know what you're talking about your car. Did you believe him? Objection, Brian Steele. Judge says, rephrase. What was your understanding? Kid Cudi says that he was lying. No further questions. Judge, any recross? No, Your Honor. Judge says, Mr. Miss Cudi, you're done. Kid Cudi says, all right. And he leaves. Wow. Powerful information, not necessarily conclusive about what happened exactly. I know a lot of people, like I saw Nate the lawyer, shout out to him, great content creator. He did a breakdown where he was saying, you know, two of the four things met for the RICO, and one of the ones he included was this alleged car bombing. I think they're trying to get closer to who, in fact, did the car bomb situation, and is it tied back to Diddy? The world may never know. At this point, doesn't seem like Kid Cudi really has any solid information other than the fact that he had an issue with Diddy and things were getting out of hand because of his relationship with Cassie. I thought it was also notable that anytime they asked about Cassie's actual relationship, if her and Cudi were intimate, I guess, it was a point to stop that conversation, which is kind of ironic because Diddy's whole dirty laundry, his whole litany of practices and how he does it and what kind of veil he wears and what the process is for a freak off, that has all been strewn into the media. So I'm wondering why now this witness who was a part and an alleged victim is being treated so lightly, especially since, you know, this is now another person that she was involved with Diddy, in addition to her now current husband, Alex Fine, who was her trainer. So we're starting to see a pattern of behavior, if you will. At least you have to question, when were Diddy and Cassie actually in a relationship? Because you know what it really sounds like? It sounds like that Cassie was working her way to that number one spot. Because you got to remember, Diddy always had Kim Porter present. He always had his baby mothers present in his life, going back to his first child, Justin. And basically, Cassie was trying to work her way in as the number one situation. But I'm starting to feel like this position of her being in a freak off was compartmentalization. Like she was that function in the relationship, that they were never really. He did go to events with her. I'll give you that. But she was never really elevated to that top position because there's so many other women she had to share him with, which goes into whether or not she could leave or stay, because she's having relationships outside. She was allegedly with Michael B. Jordan, now Kid Cudi. Seemed like she was pretty free to have an open relationship with Diddy. Like there was no restrictions on that. I don't know whether or not they were on a break or not, but either way, it's starting to look a little strange when you put all this together, but it's good information. Kid Cudi, we got a celebrity on the stand other than Cassie or Diddy. And it's kind of interesting. I wonder if this trend is going to start happening more frequently, if we're going to have more of the people that have been witnesses, that have been witnesses to that time period, if they're going to be called now. Are we about to go on a super celebrity list of witnesses? I don't think that should happen because it doesn't seem to be getting too much more information. But I guess it's interesting for the media. But anyway, let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. If you want to watch more, please watch one of these videos down below. This is Faucette Media.